Legacy is dying. To prevent that from happening, Daybreak Games went on to an impossible mission to make it so that people can play it for free. Now, our hero will try to understand the Legacy, playing through the Legacy Spellgrounds League. Will he prevail, or will Legacy succeed?
League number 5, and we do find one of the decks we have not played yet. It is Death and Texas. I think there's 6 decks available, but I think there's one more we still have not seen, and I do not remember playing against the 6th deck, so maybe there's only these 5. Maybe this is the last one we will run through. We are Yorion pile. There's loads of stuff. We have played against this a couple of times. Free War Formalware as a target for Storm Fortunistic. I love this card. I want this card to be able in Modern. This card looks like so much fun. I'm glad I get to play with it. And I also love the combo of Failure with Overlord. But playing it in an 80 card deck, let's see how often we can get it. So, on to the first match. Match number 1, we will present our Yorion. And we have Overlord, Solitude, a couple of Wastelands. I think that's okay. I think that's pretty much what we want to do. Having the Sky Road here kinda sucks, but I do still pretty much like everything else we have going on. Opponent's Sword sees that. Probably just get rid of our Overlord. That's annoying. That was our main game plan. But now we also have proof that it's not only people playing Stompy, because we do play against Blue-Black. Let's reset them back. Let's start anew. Both of us mulliganing down to 6 basically, but our opponent is only starting with 18 life. So we are ahead. Let's play the Flooded Strand and let's just wait. Opponent might also just grab a basic to play around our Wasteland because they know we have it. They grab a Meticulous Archive, so the Beanstalk control deck also ran 2 Swordsseas, I think. And if they really just found the other Swordsseas on top of the library of the Surveil, that's crazy. It appears to be the Beanstalk deck. Okay. It is not blue-black, but it still also is not another Stompy pile. I'm just glad we do not have to play against Stompy again. I will grab a Surveillant. We find a Vial. I do like that, because that means we can play our Vial and Wasteland our opponent. Let's reset them once more. I will get rid of the white mana, because I think the deck is lighter on white sources, and they would need white to answer our Vial, because they do run Prismatic Ending and Leyline Binding, if I recall correctly. Now they're on 2 lands. Let's see if they have another Beanstalk. I think that's... Oh, they have a Witherbloom command. That's rough. That's really rough. And they mill Uro. Oh no, we are in a lot of trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. This command was really nutty, but I guess we do have good answers against Uro and stuff right now, but still, they do have the Beanstalks in play. They have 5 cards, they got to get back a land. Definitely not where we want to be. We find a Stone Fortune Mystic, but we do not have any great targets for our Formalware right now, and I don't think it's worth grabbing the Lion Sash right here. I will just run out the Recruiter of the Guard to be a bit more mana efficient. Is that just a counter? They grab a Tundra, and it is Rakshas's Bargain. They're looking for a counter. It's also so crazy that Rakshas's Bargain is a card that gets played in Legacy. Literally just because of the Beanstalk. This card is not good, but Up the Beanstalk is so nice that you just want to enable it a bit further. You do not find a counter, so let's see what we can grab. I think I will try my luck with a Skyclave Apparition maybe to answer this Uro. Or potentially answer the Beanstalk, because we also have Swords for Uro. I think that might be a good flexible pick right here. Let's grab the Apparition and let's pass the turn. We have Swords and Solitude to answer Uro, so I think that's not our main priority, but Skyclave Apparition would allow us to answer either. Opponent grab and probably just escapes their Uro, I would assume. We're still far behind, but I guess there is hope. Yep, there's Uro. Do they have another land? They will have 8 cards in hand, so probably, I would assume so. And I would also expect them to have a Sword of Will by now. They have a Wasteland. I am the one that tries to wasteland you, opponent. Why do you not listen? No, opponent gets rid of our land. Let's try our luck with Solitude, I think. Get rid of one of our Stone Forges. Because if they have a counter, we can still answer the arrow. They do not counter it. And now we can still play our Stone Forge Mystic. What do we grab? Let's see what else there is. There is this. What is Phantom Blade? Attach it to up to one target creature you control. Destroy up to one other target creature. So that's just an expensive removal spell, I guess. Do we grab the Lion Sash to exile future arrows? One thing's mine. I think I will grab the pre-war formal wear, which is an absolute mouthful, in hopes of being able to reanimate something someday and get some value, especially with the likes of Flicker with Piscadis. So nice. One has a brainstorm, so they probably will have everything they could ever ask for. And we played the matchup from the other side, and I think this is probably one of the worst matchups D&T could run into, because they just grind so well, and they also ramp with Oro, so the wastelands do not matter too much for them. They have the up to beanstalks to draw an endless amount of cards, even though they have only triggered it once so far. But I think that's probably a bad matchup. Would have probably preferred to play against the blue-black deck a lot, actually. Opponent Swords to Plowshares our Stoneforge Mystic. It's also one of the few decks that actually plays lots of creature removal, which is really bad for us, because they do play Sword, they do play Prismatic Ending, they do play Leyland Binding, and in the sideboard there's even Wrath of this guy, so I'm not sure if there is really a whole lot of anything we get to do. Opponent has a Murktide Regent. Luckily enough, we do have a Swords to Plowshares, but they drew another card off the Beanstalk, and they did sculpt their entire hand a lot earlier. Let's hope there's no force. There is not! There is not still a force. Opponent went down through 30 cards of their library, so even though we are unlucky, we are still kind of lucky. Nothing we can do in their turn. Just F6, and let's enjoy the show. There is a Tamio coming. There is another Murktide Regent. Maybe no, it's another Ponder. So they would flip that Tamio, which makes our Recruiter not even a 30 turn clock. Our opponent is at 30 life because of Swords and Solitude giving them so much life. What is happening right here? Opponent plays another land. I think they are actually out of untapped lands. I don't think it's because they want to grab the Hedge Mace, because they are through 2 tropical islands. I think they did exile another thing. But did they? No, I think they should. Oh yeah, here's the Underground Seas. Opponent flips Tamio. Okay, so we do have Dahlia. Really dangerous beta right here. She attacks for 1. Her opponent can just grab back the Rockshotter's Bargain and stuff. This Swords to Plowshares, there's no way we're coming across. Let's just move on. Sideboarding against Beans. I have no idea what a good sideboard card for that matchup. Are there any? Path to Exile is great. If I recall correctly, they do not play basics. They do like paths. And maybe Opposition Agents, they play lots of fetches. I will actually just do that. I think Phantom Blade looks like an absolute shit card, so I'll just get rid of that. 5 mana remove a creature. I guess we can grab it with a Stoneforge, but our Stoneforge probably won't survive. And even if... meh. Let's also... I think because we grab our Path to Exile, we can actually shave on Swords to Plowshares. I think that's just a trade we can make. Or maybe get rid of a Bowmaster. Nah, Bowmaster is great against them if they have multiple beans. White Orchid Phantom also looks good. Yeah, let's just get rid of the sword. They would get so much life, you could never beat them. That's probably not what you're supposed to do, but I will do it. On to game number 2. Game number 2, we have Sword Thief into Lion Sash and then Flicker with or Apparition. I think that's okay. Apparition could get rid of the beans if they have one. And I will sort these away. Anything scary. What do we have, opponent? They do have beans. They do have a Force of Will. I will definitely just get rid of the beans, I think, because that would also redraw a card. Getting rid of beans with Skyclave Apparition is not great. It's more necessities than anything else. So they play the Blooded Thread and they probably just ponder, I would assume. They do have a Force of Will, so maybe they actually counter our Lion's Tail. I'm sorry, they find the Swordseize. Boom! Opponent, why do you find your Swordseize? Opponent discards the Lion's Sash because it's our turn to play. Let's run out the Flooded Strand, let's pass the turn. That's annoying. I would have loved to start it with Ether Whale and a Wasteland right now. Opponent finds a Brainstorm, so we have no real idea what they have afterwards. Let's just try to memorize what they might have. Important thing, they probably do still have Force of Will. Why am I so tired? The sun is shining. Opponent plays the Tundra and plays a Ponder. Will they shuffle away the other cards? Yep, they shuffled. Let's do the Ponder shuffle. Almost as good as the Shurima shuffle. We might approve. We find the Fetch for the Surveil. We get rid of a basic. We find another basic. So let's run out our Flicker Wisp and flicker our Backstreet Eye. Yes, we do get a Surveil. Eat value. Yeah. While turn 4. No, thank you. I really would like to know why people play this deck as the Yorion variant. From what I remember from when I started playing Magic a couple of years ago and when I first looked into content, I saw people play Death in Texas, and it always looked like they want to maximize the chance of having Ether Whale with Wasteland. So not doing that sounds so weird to me. Now they have Force of Will with the Beans. They get rid of our Skyclave Apparition. They do not even go down a card. Yeah, I am not sure we can still win this. But I guess we do have a dangerous attacker right here. Our Flicker Wisp definitely does kill our opponent in 4 turns and definitely won't be removed by a Fresh Breath of Air. That's the Fresh Breath of Air I was talking about. And they do get a land back to secure a land drop. That's not so nice. Ooh, that's nice. That's a nice one. Opponent got back this Flood Strand. I will impend this Overlord and really hope it works, because then I can reset it with the Flicker Wisp and I will give our opponent one more turn with the Public Beanstalks. But that means we do have both the Flicker Wisp and the Overlord in play. And next turn we can still run out the Skyclave Apparition. And we also find our White Orchid Phantom right there. That's also pretty neat, because that's just a Stone Rain creature. Milling the pre-war Formalware is kind of sad, but I guess that's life. Let's grab the Phantom and let's start doing D&T stuff and go for one of the for one of the constants in life, that there's always somebody that likes to blow up lands. So run out the Phantom, Stone Rain our opponent. What a hit. Unfortunately no way to flicker it. And let's hit our opponent for 3. Also do not need this stop any longer. That stop was only there for fancy play with Kaito that actually was worse than just ninjutsuing the normal way. They do have Endurance. Endurance has Reach. Endurance blocks off Flicker Wisp. I do not this Endurance. But I guess our opponent is actually down to 2 cards in hand, so that's not too bad, I guess, because we also do just have Yorion for next turn. Rabbit at least. Won't be able to cast it as well, but I guess Yorion is a good value piece if you have stuff to flicker with it. And flickering this Apparition and the Phantom actually does sound kind of nice. Having another Stone Rain and getting rid of this Endurance, don't hate it. Don't hate it. I would have expected our opponent to shuffle away this Endurance, actually, not gonna lie. Because we do not have any real graveyard attraction except for the Overlord, but I really dislike bringing in one-shot graveyard removal against the Overlord, because if you still just mill something, they still get the value and you just used your card for not really anything. Opponent grabs a Wasteland, and plays Uro. Luckily enough, they did wipe away their own graveyard, so they cannot even escape Uro. Which is also definitely an interesting choice. They just stay back. We grab our Yorion. 1, 2, 3. And we will Wasteland away our opponent's White Source. Let's pass back to our opponent. Opponent does not have enough cards in their graveyard to escape Uro. They have a Swordseize. No! No, we needed that one opponent. Oh no. find another wasteland, so let's get rid of one more. That's annoying. That's so annoying. And we do not have any real attacks because of Endurance's reach. We are just sitting here waiting for a good top deck. And Yorion was supposed to be our secure, safe, good top deck. That's where we play 80 cards. Opponent, we have a vial. Nice, that does so much. No. Ah! Okay, I had to let that one out. That was really important. I hope after this I do count as a real content creator. The most annoying part about all of this is that our opponent now has enough cards engraved to escape Uro, and they will be able to just grab us. I think they still, no, the Meticulous Archive is dead, that's the one we wastelanded. So they still have to find somewhat specific lands to escape it, but realistically speaking, any green source does suffice. Rakshas's bargain. That's good right here. They'll probably find some their land to play Uro. They do have another Uro, and they do have a land for Uro. I will grab this Force of Will, because I am pretty much exclusively looking for another Overlord to grab back the Yorion. I can't afford them to counterspell that. We definitely have to hit Overlord. Opponent plays a Savannah from the hand. Opponent escapes Uro. They do still have Swords of Plowshares available. They play the Uro from hand. They do not escape. What? Opponent, why are you giving me so much time? Why are you not just playing the Uro on the board and just start hitting me? I'm empty-handed. Why are you so nice, opponent? That's nothing. But I guess if our opponent doesn't use their wasteland, this means we could impend our Overlord and cast Yorion right away. Which would actually be kind of nuts if we would draw an Overlord. But we only have 3 more Overlords in 50 cards. Because we are a Yorion pile. I'm definitely not convinced by this deck. This deck so far looks like absolutely the worst deck we've played. I mean, I have no idea from actual tier lists for Legacy or anything like this, or if there is a clear tier 1 strategy right now. I just remember Psychic Frog, Reanimator being way too dominant and then banning multiple cards from it, and even banning Troll of Khazad, Doom of all things, and banning Grief as well. But don't know if Texas has any legs. Not gonna lie. Feels like absolutely the worst deck in this limited environment right here. Even though it might just be this matchup, but it looks rough. It looks really rough. We have Vial. I will put another counter on it. We find a path to exile. I guess that's an answer for the Uro. I guess. Let's just do it right now. So they do not have anything to grab back, and we can get a hit in. We will actually get a hit in right now. He's gone. Let's hit you for 4, opponent. And then we're just sitting here waiting even longer. Also not sure if Talia is any good anymore because of Bowmasters. So many decks play Orcish Bowmasters, so they can just get rid of Talia for 2 mana and have a good buddy. Not convinced. Not convinced. In the past, I always thought I would probably like this deck, but that's like 5 years ago. Oh, no, we have 2025. That's like 6-7 years ago. Because for some reason, when I started playing Magic, I started playing Modern. I'm also still a Modern player, as you probably know, even though the last few videos were all Legacy. But for some reason, my YouTube feed back then had more Legacy videos than Modern videos. And to this day, I don't know why. Yup, that's Uro right there. Opponent has another Wasteland. And now they will start stone raining us. We find failure. That's if our opponent somehow completely taps out and stumbles, has a stroke, and does not use the Swords of Plowshares or anything on any of our creatures ever, this failure will be good. But I think that's a few too many obstacles for us to actually have a good shot right here. I think we're probably just absolutely done because I pretty much just have to take this hit and go to 1 and hope for the best. I mean, opponent does not play any reach. There's not even a Bowmaster in their deck. But I don't really like our shot. Yeah, opponent's Stone Rain us once more. Yeah. Where's that? Opponent has so much mana up, has 5 cards in hand. They do at the very least have a Swords of Plowshares. Though I really do not expect this to really do a whole lot of anything. Wait. opponent just lets us do stuff. Do I go for the Phantom to get rid of the land and to start stripping them of their resources? I think that's too early for that. I will just sacrifice my failure for this apparition to get rid of Oro. They saw some Plowshare's apparition. That was their plan. Okay, so let's run out our Solitude. And that's coming. We are not dead yet. What do you have in your hand, opponent? Opponent gets a token, so they will be able to just block out failure, which sucks a lot. They just have another endurance. So we are dead. No, we're not. Solitude gains its life. It is a lifelink blocker. Okay, we're not technically dead. We're just pretty much dead. So is there any draw we can have? We double block an endurance to get rid of one. We keep one blocker. We go up to 6, go down to 1. And then we draw another Solitude. Now opponent has no answers whatsoever. That's the line. Please. Pretty please, opponent. Even after your brainstorm, please don't have anything. Opponent does not even swing with everything. So we don't take the 2 damage we would have just taken otherwise. We still go for the double block. Because if our opponent has anything, we just lose. So let's just not play around anything. There's those Plowshares. There's game. Nice. On to the next match. Match number 2. We are on the draw. Our hand looks pretty good. I do like Swordseize into Overlord with Skyclave Apparition and Swords of Plowshares as potential interaction. Now opponent is also mulliganing, so the Swordseize probably is a bit better. Opponent's mulliganing down to 5. I think as far as hands with this deck are concerned, I think that's a pretty good one. I think the only real upgrade would be Eternite, just grabbing an effect. Opponent does not even have another land. Okay. Yeah. On to sideboarding. Sideboarding against Mono Red. I think we pretty much only have Disruptor Flute as an answer to their One Ring. And what is bad? That I despise this card. This card looks so shit. I don't even want to try casting it. Light Sash right here also looks in this matchup pretty bad because I think interacting with the graveyard just doesn't matter. So we still have 2 targets for our Stoneforge Mystic. That is fine, I think. And let's also get rid of one other thing. What should it be? Let's get rid of one Thalia. I think most of them good stuff are still creatures, so I think Thalia will be pretty lackluster. Game number 2, we reveal our Yorion. Our opponent will be on the play, and we have Stoneforge, Trial Formal, Warwear. This name makes sense. It probably is a straight up reference to something from Fallout. Still really weird to say. Maybe just because I'm German, but Sword, Stoneforge, Real War, Formal Wear. We have 2 planes. I will keep this because we do have answers for their creatures with our swords. We have Stoneforge to grab Kaldra. And if they do not answer Stoneforge, Kaldra will probably be pretty good against them. And we do have 2 planes, so we don't even really care about their Blood Moon effects. Final Swordseize is bad because we are color screwed, but so what? So what? Let's just run out Stoneforge next turn and grab Kaldra. Hope Kaldra doesn't die, and even if the Stoneforge dies, we just get her right back with the pre-war Formal Wear. Opponent plays a Fable. To opponent, I will just sort Plowshares away your token. Don't want you to get so treasury. We find another Swordseize. Yay! Let's run out Stoneforge and let's grab Kaldra. I think if our opponent doesn't have an answer for the Stoneforge right here, Kaldra probably just runs away with the entire game. Because I don't know how their deck can answer that. I think the only way... Oh, they do... I think they probably Silent Dead Gun against us. And they could just bounce the token with Gun. So that would actually be an answer. Or they just play Disruptor Flute on our Stoneforge Mystic. That also works. They do have the second City of Traitors. We find another Plains. Jesus! Let's just grab Yorion, I think. And hit our opponent for 1. Now we are looking for a black land. Drawing 2 Swordseize and not finding a black land. Now it's getting annoying. But I mean, I did keep a hand without any black mana, so what do I expect to happen? Opponent has a Bombardiers, so it's becoming dangerous. Please just sacrifice your Disruptor to the opponent. They don't. Damn. Can always hope and pray. But we do have a Recruiter of the Guard, which at the very least is a decent blocker, but... do we grab something? We could grab Flicker Wisp to reset our Formal Wear. We could grab Witch Enchanter to get rid of the Flute. We could also grab the Apparition to get rid of the Flute. I think it will probably be one of those. It could also be Solitude to get rid of one of their things right now, which might be important. But we would have to get rid of our Yorion, I think, then. Let's grab Solitude and let's just block with the Stoneforge next turn so we can maybe get it back. And don't think I want to go for Solitude right now. I will try to get as much value of this Yorion as possible. Opponent plays a mountain, floats mana with the City of Traders, and opponent plays a Wandering. That's annoying. We do not really have any good clock going on right now, and we don't have a Bowmaster. Could have grabbed one with Recruiter now. I regret not grabbing the Skyclave Apparition because it could have gotten rid of the Wandering. Yeah, do regret that. One just attacks with the Bombardiers. I will go for the double block actually. If our opponent tries to sacrifice one of their things, I'm more than happy with that. Opponent does sacrifice the Disruptor Flute and dealt the damage to us. That means I will just go for the Solitude right here to protect the Stoneforge, because getting the Caldra in still is pretty good. Opponent could still copy it with the Reflection, which he doesn't. Opponent skipped through it. That's good for us. Love to see it. Let's activate our Stoneforge and grab our Caldra. No reason to attack right now because our opponent has protection from everything. But we do have all sorts of plowshares. Get rid of their Reflection when they play another creature. And we do have our Caldra in play as a good clock. What activates the Wandering. Opponent does have the gun to get rid of our token. That's really bad. Opponent plays a Chrome Mox. They probably have another 3-drop coming. They exile Spirit Guide, and it is another Bombardiers. Opponent is tapped out. Let's get rid of the Reflection right now. And I will just offer my Recruiter up for the trade and take the block to get our pre-war Formalware to revive the Recruiter right here. That guy has Menace. Okay, I knew he was a menace. I did not realize he has Menace. And we draw the third Caracas. And since only bounces legendary creatures. I do not appreciate this. This looks really bad. Drawing 3 Caracas like this sucks a lot. This deck gun probably made the game for our opponent because we can't use our Caldra. And also just drawing another Caracas does hurt quite a bit. We'll go for the double block. Let's see which one our opponent gets rid of. Our opponent lets the Stoneforge Mystic survive. We can just activate it. Opponent sacrifices the Wandering for a lot of damage. What can we keep? Opponent kills the Stoneforge Mystic. That's the worth one for us. And is it a Paragoyf? Is it big enough? It's land, artifact, instant, creature. It's just a Fiery Confluence to kill us. Okay, let's concede and move to game number 3. No changes to sideboarding. I do still stand with my Phantom Blade Hate. Game number 3, we are going first. We have Bile this time on turn 1. We do have a Sword Beast from the turn after, and we have Philia and Flicker Wisp. I will keep this. We're pretty much only looking for something good to flicker. And I can grab the Swamp turn 1, so we are Blood Moon proof. Opponent is also mulliganing themselves into Oblivion right now. They are already down to 5 cards, so I think we might win a game with Texas. What up? Let's grab the Swamp and run out the Vial. Opponent just played the tapped land. I do appreciate that. So we can just slowly start taking up our Vial. We have a Stoneforge Mystic, that's pretty sweet. Do we Sword Seize now or do we flash in a Philia? I think I prefer flashing in the Philia, because we might draw an Overlord or something like that. And if not, we can still reset our Stoneforge Mystic and Sword Seize our opponent next turn. Opponent just has a Fable, that's pretty sweet. That means we can exile our opponent's token with the Philia. That's pretty sweet. Philia is a removal spell. Pick up the Vial once more. We're looking pretty good. Let's see what our opponent has to offer. Opponent has Ring, Magus, Fury, Bombardiers. Opponent scoops it up. That game was not over, opponent, but I take it. On to the next match. Match number 3. We lost another die roll, so I will still keep this. We do have a Wasteland, we can grab a land, we have Witch Enchanter as another land. And we do have Skyclave Apparitions against some stuff, and Lion Sash against Graveyard Shenanigans. Opponent is playing Stompy. They do have the Spirit Guide right here, and it's a Fable. That's okay for us. Let's just round the Flooded Strand so we can potentially grab a Plains in case our opponent should play a Moon Effect. Opponent loots away 2 Fables. Ooh, like that actually. Fable is a good card. Opponent plays a land, attacks with a Shaman, I'd assume. And there is a Bombardiers. I don't like that, because we still need at least one more turn to play our Skyclave Apparition. We are a tad bit slow right here. Let's just grab a Surveillant and see if we can find an answer to one of those. Surveil. We have on top of our library another one. We don't need that. Let's just get rid of it. What do we draw? Is it something? It's a plane. It does not really do too much. Let's just run out this Lion Sash. So we have the thing on board. And let's hope we don't just die. Fable flips. City of Traitors hits the battlefield. Is there something big coming? Looks like just 3 mana. Oh no, 4 mana Paragolf. Yup, that's rough. That's rough, especially with the flip reflection right here. Good thing we get to answer the reflection with our Skyclave Apparition, and the turn after we get to answer the Pyrogolf. That's at least a thing. Still do take a decent hit, and our opponent could just sacrifice a treasure token next turn to the Bombardiers to get rid of the Apparition as well. So we are still in a lot of trouble. Opponent already sacrificed the token to hit us. Is there even a way for us to survive? Let's not overthink it, let's just play the Apparition. Let's get rid of the reflection and let's just hope we don't die. That's sometimes all you can do. Opponent will hit us for 8, sacrifice a treasure to get rid of the Apparition, so I think so far we only go down to 1. Probably no way of turning that around, but jealous on 1. Doesn't matter. Hits us for 8. They do not sacrifice a treasure to get rid of the Apparition. I will trade away with their Bombardier. Right, it has menace. I forgot. So let's trade with the Shaman. Do take the hit right there, because we do just play another Apparition to get rid of it. But they do still have the Bombardiers, so we have to draw a Solitude to answer the Bombardiers. Oh no, they sacrifice a Paragraph for more damage, right? Yeah, no, just that. Okay, on to side body. So I will once again take in the Disruptor Flute and get rid of the useless equipments and a White Rocket Phantom. And let's run it back. Game number 2, we do have a Disruptor Flute for potential Wandering. We do have a Bogemaster to punish some stuff, and we have a Flicker Wisp. I do like this. And we have a Prismatic Vista to grab a basic, not our Prismatic Vista, so we can, in a dire situation, grab a basic already. No need to get color screwed too fast. Don't just play the Bait Mountain. I do like that. Let's just grab the planes right now, so we can play the Bowmasters and have our black card already in play, so the planes can do something, even though we do need double white. Draw second Caracas, oh come on. Play 80 cards, get still punished for drawing multiples of your legendary you don't want to draw multiples of. Opponent play the Chromox, this only shuts off non-mana abilities, right? Yep. Please just play one ring opponent, I would actually love that. 4 mana. It is a 1 ring. Let's stop that. Nice 1 ring you got there, opponent. It did buy you a turn of invincibility. We find an Overlord. I do really like that. But also, I would try something funny. Or do I just run out the Overlord to Flicker Wisp it next turn? Nah, we are here to have fun. I will reset our opponent's Chromox. Potentially Stone Rain them, or at least make them discard another card to still use it. Probably would have just been better to play the Overlord. We did actually Stone Rain our opponent with his Flicker Wisp, so it's still kind of decent, but probably should have just played the Overlord to Flicker Wisp his next turn to have a real clock. But I just couldn't pass this opportunity up. The 1-2 Pyrogolf to kill our Flicker Wisp, that's rough. Now the Pyrogolf is a 2-3. This Caracas looks so bad. And we do not have a second black source. Let's still just play this one tapped and run out the Overlord to grab back the Flicker Wisp. Even though it probably grows the Pyrogolf by a bit more. Yep. Could also grab Solitude, but we already have one. I just want to reset the Overlord. I think this looks pretty good for us. Don't really expect our opponent to have any out for Overlord, and the only real answer they have is a big Pyrogolf, but we will just keep on buying back Solitudes then. One plays a Fable, we don't really care. Probably just take a hit for 3. Yup, but we're still at a healthy 16. It just passed to our turn. Draw Failure. Fortunately no land, would have been nice to double spell. Could also play the Bowmaster and end of turn Failure to flicker the Overlord. I do actually kind of like that, because this makes their Fable at all worth, and they do not have 2 red mana, so they do want to look for a red source, I think. We'll do that. Opponent, move to their main step, but we do have to do it in response to their Fable before they draw. Let's run out the Bowmasters. And even though it doesn't necessarily kill the Shaman, I will still hit it, because that means the Shaman dies even if they just mill for 1. And they can't really attack with the Shaman unless they have a Fiery Confluence, which would really suck. Land Fiery Confluence right here to kill our Disruptor Flute and get rid of our creatures. Then they have One Ring active. That would be really bad. Please don't. Did I jinx it again? Please just be a Fury. Okay. That's still bad, but we do have Thalia right now and or Solitude. And now the Caracas will also possibly do something, because we can hardcast the Flicker Wisp, and we can hardcast the Solitude next turn with the 2 double Solitude, which might be better than resetting the Overlord, I think. Opponent is also only down to 1 card. Yeah, I think that's better. Let's flow the mana, play another Caracas, keep the new one, run out the Solitude. I do love that. That sounds pretty nice, and we can reset our Overlord if we need to at a later stage, but now it's already down to 2 counters at the end of this turn, so maybe there's not even the need to do that. We get rid of the Paragolf as well. The opponent's board is resetted by a decent bit. They do flip their Fable, but we still have Flicker Wisp to grab back Overlord and another Solitude in our grave. We do have Solitude with the Failure right here, though. I think it's pretty much over. Unless still Fiery Confluence doesn't have it. On to the next. I don't think there's any reason to do any changes to our sideboarding. I like our plan. I like getting rid of the bad equipment, so let's go to game number 3. Yeah, on the draw, we do have double Vial, and we have Flicker Wisp and Overlord. I do like the sound of that. Let's keep it. And I also just remembered there is a 6 deck that we have also already seen once, and it's also the deck that I'm probably the most excited to play. It is the Cradle Control deck, so there will be another part after this one. I know that there is at least one person out there that really appreciates that. I will grab this one so we don't get screwed by Blood Moon, even though most of those effects probably are out against us, but better be safe than sorry. And next turn we can just run out our Overlord and reset that the turn after with our Flicker Wisp. Opponent runs out a Chalice on 2. That's actually pretty annoying because it gets rid of our Failure, but it's not too annoying because we do have Flicker Wisp to answer that. Let's just put a counter on our Vial. We can still impend our Overlord, so we are still in decent shape. But it still stops a lot of our good cards. Also stops some of our removal spells, stops the Bowmaster, but we also do find a Skyclave Apparition. I do definitely like that. Next turn we might just use our Apparition to get rid of the Fable, which probably is the best thing, because Flip Fable is really scary, and we can use the Flicker Wisp to reset the Chalice or the Overlord depending on what comes up. Opponent has a One Ring. That's also dangerous. The opponent really does have the big hitters back to back to back, which is pretty much where their deck wants to be. And I don't want to be here right now facing that. Attack with the Shaman. We are still at a pretty decent life total, but our opponent is definitely doing lots of scary things. There is a Chalice on 1 coming, I would assume, but they counter it with their Chalice. Yep, that's what happens. So, do we have to answer the One Ring right here? That's a big question, and I think the answer probably is yes. Don't think I can let them untap with that. Let's reset this. The good thing is also we do have the Vial to get our Failure into play. So next turn we will be able to do lots of Flicker shenanigans to reset our Apparition, to reset our Overlord, get rid of the Reflection. Just hoping to survive one more turn to start slowly turning it around. One also goes down to 3 life already, so maybe we'll just be able to kill them. Ancient Stone do start piling up in their damage. Ooh, but there is the Pyrogolf, and they do have the Reflection to copy it and hit us for a lot. Okay. Yep, that's not nice, that's not nice. Please don't do that, opponent. They can now copy the Pyrogolf, deal 8 to our face. That's still crazy. That's so crazy that Pyrogolf also triggers on other Logolfs. We do take the 8. And now they attack us for another 6. But opponent, they only attack us for 4. They do not attack with the shaman. That's peculiar. Let's put in the failure. I will just take the damage because this Paragraph vanishes at the end of turn either way. Let's use the vial. Find another vial. That's pretty bad. Let's run out one more and play the Flicker Wisp. I will reset the Overlord to at the very least grab back the Apparition right there. And I think I might have to get rid of a token. I could reset the Fable, then they get another Shaman. Could not get rid of it. I think we can't attack, unfortunately. We could get rid of the Illusion token. They block, the token is gone. We get our Apparition, we get rid of the Reflection. They do have these 2 left. We have Flicker Wisp and our things. Yeah, I think that's probably the play. Let's get rid of this Illusion. Opponent just blocks away our failure. Failure dies. We do get back our Overlord. Overlord finds our Skyclap Apparition. We use our vial for the Apparition. Yes. And I will get rid of the Reflection. I think because it can be more scary with other stuff. If they have another Paragraph, we're just dead either way. I will take the safe removal here. Or do I get rid of the Paragraph? Because our Overlord will be able to block other stuff. Paragraph is so big. Nah, let's get rid of the Reflection. If that means we have to block with our Apparition, that's fine, because we can just attack with Overlord to get a Solitude. That's a pretty tight one, especially because our opponent is also down to 3 lives. That's a Fury. But it only gets rid of our Apparition or Flicker Wisp. We're not dead, but we're still pretty much dead now. Yeah, that's probably the worst thing our opponent could have had, except for Fire Confluence to just straight up kill us. Or another Paragraph to straight up kill us. Because now our blockers are dead. We have to jump block this Paragraph. And we do still take the 2 damage right here from the Shaman, and they have the Illusion as well for the next turn. Don't know if there's something that can bring us back here. Probably the best thing is another Overlord. Grab the Flicker Wisp, vial that in. Doubt that even that will be enough. You put a counter on this vial. We'll keep this on 3 to potentially use Flicker Wisp with Overlord. That's a Stoneforge Mystic. We can't even cast that. That's unfortunately it. So I will see you in the next league.